KB is finally done with Edmond. That girl is done, okay? And Annie is starting to realize that we think Nick is fake, and so does everybody else. Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video. Love is Blind, season 9, episode 9. Y'all, we got some things to get into. Everybody finally get to meet each other and this mixer is a complete mess. But before we go ahead and get into the things, if this is your first time here, sit back, relax, watch the video through. And if you like what you see and you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you found yourself clicking into another one of my videos and you have not subscribed yet, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and do that because what you waiting for? What you waiting for? You like it here and I want you here. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, okay? If you're one of my lovely members or subscribers, hey y'all, how y'all doing? I'm doing okay. I'm doing well. I'm ready to get into this review. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So the episode opens up with Jordan making this nasty chicken smoothie, okay? First of all, what made you think it is? What made you think it is? That's some people stuff. Yes. People stuff, because ain't no way in hell you should be making a chicken smoothie, okay? Then he's adding Crystal Light to it. For what? He didn't even want to drink it. It looked like he wanted to spit it out. And Megan, you just as dumb. You just as dumb because ain't no way in the world I would have tasted that. So you can have your chicken smoothie all by yourself. Okay? He's talking about something, now I got all this protein and my micros and this, that, and the other. You do know that you could have just ate the chicken breast. You know that, right? You do know that you could have just drank a Crystal Light, right? Why did you have to put it all together in the smoothie? That's just nasty. It screams I want attention, Jordan. That's what it's giving because ain't nobody in their right mind doing that. Edmond got KB a package overnighted to them and she opened it up and it's some rollerblades. Now I thought it was going to be some regular skates, but when she put them on, they was rollerblades. Edmond, you don't get rollerblades for someone first time trying to learn how to skate. Okay? I know you may think you're a pro, so you want to get her the blades. Start with the regular 4 wheels before you add them up into a blade. Okay? I'm just saying. But nonetheless, he helps her skate around the apartment. So let me tell y'all something, okay? Megan took Nick house hunting. And we in this nice, beautiful house. And I'm looking around like, this is a nice house, right? And they talking about, oh, we just need a house with 3 rooms and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, so then why y'all here? Why y'all here? The realtor asked them, what's the budget? What's the budget? Megan said 1.5 to 2. I said to 2 what? 1.5 to 2 what? Million. Oh, she got money. I know we've been talking about her having money, but no, homegirl got money. And I'm with Jordan on this. I'm just going to stand here and be quiet. I'm just going to look around. That's a nice closet. That's a nice living room. That's a nice basement. Oh, it has a bar. This is nice. I'm like Jordan because, girl, if you want to pay for it, be my guest. Be my guest. So now Jordan and Megan are about to have this conversation about how much this house costs. And I'm thinking to myself, like, y'all didn't discuss this before y'all got there? Because it's crazy to go house hunting and have your budget be $2 million and you not talk to the other person who's supposed to be buying the house with you. Now, Jordan said, I can't really afford this, okay? And I'm like, we know. You live in a 1-bedroom apartment that you share with your son. You sleep in the living room. We know. Megan knows. Now, Megan's like, we can sell the house in LA for 1.5 and then we both can take out a loan for $500,000. Now, I love the fact that she said we can sell the house in LA. I love the fact that she said we can take out the loan. But have you even asked this man if he has the credit to take out a $500,000 loan? Megan, do you not know who you're marrying? You're marrying Jordan. The man who shares a 1-bedroom apartment with his son and sleeps in the living room. Even if y'all did get the loan, do you think he could afford the mortgage? Or even half of it for that matter? Let's be real. Let's be real. Now, I love that Jordan doesn't want to feel like a mooch, okay? He doesn't want to feel like, he's living off of her. But he also doesn't want her to not have the life that she's used to and accustomed to. Y'all got to find a middle ground. And I think the middle ground is not $1 million house. Okay? Go into the thousands. Maybe 400,000. Maybe even 500,000. But 1.5 to 2 million is crazy. Crazy, Megan. So now we get to Annie and Nick and they in the kitchen. And Annie's talking about something. I have to fix my hair. I have to fix my hair because your mother's a hairstylist and I don't want her to say nothing about my hair. And I'm like, Annie, you're the hairstylist and your hair always looks like this. What is going on? I'm sorry. We have to address it at this point. You are on national television. You are a hairstylist and your hair is never done. I would not go to you. You have done a horrible job at marketing yourself at this point, girl. Because we know you're not walking away with love. So the least you could have did was get some clients. Because trust me, I wouldn't book with you. I wouldn't. But the good news is at least Nick decided to bring his actual family. So he gets some points in my book for that, okay? Now, his family comes in and his mom, his dad, I think that was his brother. They're talking about, have they had any disagreements yet? And I'm like, you mean outside of Annie crashing out for no reason at all? You mean outside of that? Yeah, nah, they ain't really have no disagreements or whatever. But Annie said that they just argue over little things. And it's usually when she's feeling really emotional or she's having a bad day. And I'm thinking to myself, that's going to be more than often. That's going to be more than often. And trust me, little arguments always lead up to big arguments. So it may seem little now, but trust and believe, Nick will be fed up. But what am I talking about? Because y'all not really getting married for real. Anyway, Nick's family seems really nice. The one thing I can say for sure is that his mother, his family loves him. They love him. Mom was on the verge of tears realizing that her son was getting married. And I don't know if it's because she's happy that he's getting married or if she's sad that she's losing her son. But nonetheless, she is emotional, okay? Even his father was talking about like how no matter how old your kids get, you're always worried about them. And I just thought to myself, like, y'all know I got two kids, right? I got an almost 2-year-old and a 13-year-old. And I always think to myself, like, I'm going to be worried about these kids forever. Ever. And I'm over here at home at 36 years old. And I know my mother still worries about me sometimes. I know she still thinks like, is my daughter still alive? Is she doing okay? So he is really blessed to have family who loves him because everyone doesn't have that. So anyone who does have family that loves them and worries about them should really cherish it, really cherish it, okay? So his mother said, so do y'all want children? And they were like, yes, we want children. And she just so excited because she thinks she's going to get some grandbabies or whatever. It really was a sweet interaction, okay? And you can tell that his mother and his family are so loving. They said that it's not going to be hard for them to love Annie at all. They are just happy that Nick is happy, and that's really all that matters. But the one thing that cracked me up the most is that when they were sitting there and they was going through all these emotions and they was just talking about how much they love him and how they gonna love Annie, Nick looking at them like, y'all might like her more than me. His face was sitting there like, dang, I really got myself into something. Yeah, you did. You've been faking it, sir. You've been faking it. Now let's see how long you're gonna make it. Now, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm officially convinced that Allie does not like Anton, okay? She told him that he can flirt with anyone he wants to at this daggone mixer. She is not his mama. Now, although that may seem like the mature thing to do, I feel like that's not something you tell someone, your fiance for that matter, that you actually love, that he can just go ahead and flirt with other people because I'm not your mother. Usually it'd be like, if you know what's best for you, you wouldn't. Or I would suggest you not to, but to just go ahead, do what you got to do is crazy. She don't like that man, okay? And I'm just realizing that I don't think Anton really likes her either. I don't know about these two, and I'm going to keep saying it. Something's off. I'm starting to feel like Anton is not who he really says he is, and he's not going to be able to give Allie the life that she wants. I think he underestimated how materialistic she is. Or she wasn't forthcoming about how materialistic she is. Nonetheless, these two ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna make it at all, okay? So now we get to the mixer and it's a rodeo. I said, ooh, this is when things get good. It's about to get messy, especially because everybody's about to get drunk. We about to see cast members who got ghosted, cast members who was dating other people. Y'all know I live for the drama, so I was ready for everything that this episode was going to give us, okay? Now, Edmond decides that he's going to get up there and ride the bull, and KB is like cheering him on. She even offered to rub his balls. I said, girl, don't get that man worked up. Don't get that man worked up and you know you're not going to give him no cootie cat. Because then he gonna be sitting there having a tantrum, and we not doing that again. We absolutely are not doing that again. We found out that Megan has met Jordan's son's mom, and she said that everything was good. They seem to have a good relationship. She almost said that it seemed like they were family. I said, okay, maybe I was wrong about the relationship that Jordan has with his baby mama. Because according to Megan, everything seems fine, and she's finally going to meet Luca that Friday. So for Jordan and Megan, it seems to be working out for them good, okay? At this point, I don't know if I'm rooting for them. I feel like I am, but like, should I? Should I? Because like we already know that they live two totally different lifestyles. And I don't know. I'm not going to put my foot in my mouth and say I'm rooting for them just yet, okay? But I will say that they are growing on me. I'll say that, okay? Now, I thought it was weird when Ali said that they didn't meet any family. So, did they not meet your family as well? So, did you bring friends too, Ali? This is what I mean. Anton and Ali full of shit. I'm sorry, I gotta say, they full of ish, okay? I don't think they taking this process as serious as they taking it. But she does tell them that his friend's girlfriend told her that they used to go to the strip clubs and stuff like that. And she don't want no man who goes to strip clubs. She don't want a man who went to strip clubs whether he was single or engaged. That's not the kind of man she wants. She doesn't like the fact that when he comes home from work after working overnight, he's drinking beers in the morning. That's not the kind of man that she likes. I can tell that that girl's disgusted with him. I can tell that she doesn't want to be with him. But she said that she asked him about the whole situation with the strip clubs and everything. And he said he hasn't been to a strip club in over a year. And she doesn't know who to believe. She don't know if she should believe him or if she should believe the friend. Let me tell you something. I believe the friend. Okay? That girl ain't have no reason to lie about nothing. If anything, she probably thought that because now him and her man are both going to be off the market, that they won't be at the strip clubs and partying anymore, and she won't have to deal with her man talking about, oh, I'm going out with Antoine. I think that's what happened. And I think she thought she was just being a girl's girl and really just talking to her, and they was sharing a bathroom moment because that's what the girls do in the bathroom. So if I was you, I would definitely listen to that girl. Now, people were saying that she's being messy and the things of the things. I would rather her be messy before the wedding than be messy after the wedding. I'm just saying. And I'm really upset that we didn't get to see the conversation. Why are y'all not showing us anything that has to do with Ali and Anton? Why? And then the things that you do show us are like pointless. Like, do you get your nails painted? Have you worn makeup? Like, why couldn't y'all cut that scene and give us the scene of them having this conversation about whether this man go to strip clubs or not, so we can see his expression, we can see his response, and really get down to the bottom of the things. Love is Blind editing this season has been horrible. I always feel like we're missing something. So now Patrick shows up. Hey, Patrick. Okay, I hope that you found some self-love about yourself, okay? He came in and he was saying how he still was trying to meet up with Cassie, and she kept pushing off meeting up with him. And then she told him, like, if we not together, there's no reason for us to be meeting up. And I'm saying, like, Patrick, you really didn't understand that that girl didn't want to be with you? I mean, I know she didn't. I know she was sending you mixed signals. But when she left the process, she left everything that came with it, including you. She barely wanted to give you her number for real. You probably had to DM her on Instagram. I doubt if y'all actually text. I think y'all probably was DMing each other. Because I definitely feel like she was trying to ghost you and you wasn't letting it happen. It sounded like that man was begging and begging and begging her, calling her, texting her, everything that he could until she finally told him exactly what it is. But you know what? That's Casey's fault too, because she's a coward. And instead of just saying that she didn't want to continue this process and continue the engagement, she let that man believe that, oh, it's just the cameras. It's just the cameras. Kept hugging him and kissing him, doing dumb stuff. So I could understand half a delusion, but why would you want a girl that's literally curving you? And then we found out that she wouldn't even give the ring back. Oh, Patrick, you know how to pick them. Casey, you are a piece of shit and a coward. The least you could have did was give that man back his ring. The least you could have did was give that man back his ring. He's talking about something. I was just hurt because she didn't even give it a day. You know what, Patrick? At this point, you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself because you kept begging her. You kept begging her. Now, anyway, Katie shows up and the guys are like, Nick, you're fucked. You're fucked, okay? Annie's here and Mike is here. Ooh, Megan, Mike is here. I was really ready to get into Mike and Megan. I really was, okay? Brendan's in the building. I said, ooh, okay, now we really about to get into some things. And Annie is really giving me salty. Like, girl, you didn't pick him. It's okay. You didn't pick him. She's talking about some, yeah, he was in the pods acting like he didn't want to fight. Like everything was supposed to be just handed to him. And I'm like, okay, you still in your feelings about it or what? You not happy with Nick or something? Why you still stuck on that? Like you holding on to it. Like you wanted to pick him and you just mad that he didn't fight for you early enough and you got stuck with Nick because that's what it's given. She's in a confessional talking about something. He was in a pod saying how I was his number one, but he wasn't showing me tonight. So you thought that man was going to come in here tonight when you was engaged to another man and like prove to you that you know you was his number one? For what? You made up your decision. When the man was sitting there begging you and pleading with you and crying and whatnot, you wasn't having it. What did you want him to come here and do? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? I keep trying to figure out. The craziness is in that girl, okay? And she never lets it down. And I think it lives in her hair. So while everyone's out there dancing and having a good old time, Jordan's telling Brendan to let Annie go. Let her go, okay? You didn't really want her for real. Seeing her with Nick, it makes perfect sense, okay? She's quirky, he's quirky, yeah. You're not missing out on anything. Brendan's like, you sure? I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, you don't want her. She's crazy. The girl is crazy, okay? Let her have Nick because that's who she wanted so bad, even though he playing in her face. So Mike then came up and pulled Megan for a chat, okay? I said, woo, child, let me get myself together. Now, he's talking about something. You want to dance? She was like, no. I said, whoop, she shut that down immediately, okay? And he's so messy because he's sitting down talking about how your engagement going. Is it everything you thought it would be? And she's like, He's like, you think you made the right decision? And she's like, yeah. And I'm saying like, that's right, girl. That's right. Because we don't want you with Mike either. We don't want you with Mike either. You know what? Where's Blake? Where is Blake? Because I got beef with Blake. That's who I got beef with. Because he messed up this process for real. But now Mike wants to apologize for the ultimatum he kind of gave her when they were in the pods and how he kept threatening to walk out and actually leaving early so that she can think. Because he realized that he was playing mind games with her. Well, he didn't say he realized that, but that's exactly what he was doing. And she's telling him, like, that's why I didn't pick you ultimately. Because I felt like that would be something you would do in real life. You're too close to the men I'm used to dating. And then he wants to throw in this slick little comment about the ring. I guess she wanted an emerald or something. And she was like, well, apparently they didn't have it. And he was like, I would have got you one. And she was like, oh, you would have? He was like, yeah, I got you one. And I said, don't fall for it, Megan. Don't fall for it. Now, she told him that she just doesn't feel like if they were together that she would be able to trust him. And I don't think you would be able to, okay? Because that man does not pay the people who do jobs for him. And I've heard a lot of nasty things about this man going around on the internet. So with all that being said, it's given very much you can't trust him, okay? She feels like if she was to go out of town, he would cheat and would. But she had to let him know, I am happy with Jordan. Everything is exactly how I want it to be. My friends and my family tell me that I should marry him. And that's what I'm going to do. And I said, you know what? Y'all. Jordan and Megan. I need y'all to tell me how y'all feel about Jordan and Megan. Okay, I know we this close. Do y'all think they gonna actually get married? Because so far, it seemed like we're heading to actually saying I do. I'm getting more I do's than I don't when I'm doing these reviews. Y'all let me know what y'all think. So now Patrick decides that he wants to talk to Anna because that was his number one girl in the pods. So when they sit down and talk, Anna tells him that, you know, she should have given him more time, okay? She should have gave him a chance, but she was really struggling with everything that was going on, so she had to walk out, all right? Then she also found out that he got engaged when she left. She's thinking like, okay, I did the right thing, okay? Because he obviously was connected with someone stronger. They had a better connection. And I'm not going to be missed as much. You know what I mean? But he had to tell her, like, no, you were my number one. I was going to choose you. I loved you. It was always going to be you. And she's like, how? How was it me when you literally proposed to another girl? You told another girl you love her. So I'm trying to figure out how was it me? Because if it was me, you wouldn't have proposed to another girl. He's like, yeah, but I had a connection with her too. But trust and believe me, if you would have stayed, it would have been you. Listen, Patrick, you blew it. You blew it with both the girls. Because if you would have left when I told you to leave, then you probably would have had a chance with Anna, but now you don't. And now you don't have neither one of your girls. So here we are. So now a few of them are standing around talking or whatever. So Edmond's saying like, oh my God, everybody seems like they're doing great, like they're doing good. I mean, like nobody's perfect, you know what I mean? Annie jumps into this conversation and was like, nah, Nick is perfect. Annie, stop. No, he not. You know it, girl. Whatever. But anyway, he like, oh, that's so nice, yo. That's so nice. Like, yo, could you imagine? I would love to hear that. Like, that's just so cool. Like, to know you not perfect and to have someone tell you perfect. Yeah, I would love to hear that. Here come KB. You would let her hear what? You would let her hear what? I said, oh. He's like, nah, what I'm saying is that, she said that he was perfect, even though she knows he's not. So KB's like, so you're comparing our relationships now? Is that what you're doing? She's telling him, like, you can admire, but don't compare. Now listen, I'm a be completely honest with you. KB was already worked up from something because the way she turned at Edmond was crazy. Now, I know that Edmond was really just also admiring and comparing, okay? And she caught the undertones of what he was doing. But she definitely came out that man real hard, okay? I'm not going to hold you at all. And you can tell that something is going on with these two. Because the way she came at him, it's like a build up. So KB's like, you keep saying it like that, like I'm not doing enough. He's like, well, I don't hear a lot of positive from you. And she's like, oh, so this is the place you want to bring it up. You know what? Since you want to bring up problems and whatnot, give me another problem. And he like, no, this is not the time. She said, oh, no, baby, it was the time a few minutes ago, right? So bring me another problem. She's like, I literally just told you last night how much I appreciate you. And from this conversation, something happened the other night, okay? I can't remember right now, and I didn't write it down. Damn, I wish I would have wrote it down. But she said something like how he brought up something, or he was starting with her the other night. Like, he knows what happened. Like, something happened at that damn apartment. Kinetic. Y'all are doing us a disservice. For real. Y'all giving us everything but what we asked for. What happened at that apartment with KB and Edmond? Something happened. She came in there on 1,000, okay? Everything went left 1,000. And then she alluded to something else happening. We don't have no footage of it. What happened? So now she walks away because she's over this. And he walks over to her like, KB, I love you. She's like, I don't want to hear that shit. Now he's talking about something, well, you know what? I'll listen to you, but I ain't gonna look at you. And she's like, I need you to act like an adult. And I said, thank you. It clicked. KB, you thought you was gonna come up here and you thought you was gonna be able to fix this man and make him glittery and sparkly. You thought you was gonna be able to save him. No, you can't save Edmond. Edmond has a lot of things going on. And the simple fact that he thought that all he needed to say was, I love you, and things was going to change is crazy. Y'all literally had a whole blowout right now, Edmond. And you thought by you saying you love her, things was going to be great. Because even after she's telling him, I just need you to be an adult, he's sitting there like, I love you. And she's like, that's not going to solve the problem. You're not answering any of my questions. And he's still like, I love you. And I'm like, Edmond is a piece of work. I'm going to just say this. Edmond is not ready for a relationship, okay? And it's not because he may be on a spectrum. It's not because he may have some trauma. It's because he literally acts like a child. He understands. I don't want y'all to ever think that Edmond is dumb, okay? Just because he behaves a certain way, that man is not dumb and he knows exactly what he is doing. He walked away from her, right? He goes over to the guys. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna die tonight. I'm gonna die tonight because I walked away. Oh my God, I'm gonna die tonight. And they're like, no, 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 no. Jordan tells him, go back over there and take accountability. Oh, I'm gonna die tonight. I'm gonna die tonight. Edmond, snap out of it. Snap out of it. Love is Blind had no reason in casting Edmond at all. He is not stable enough for a show like this. And they did the casting this season. It's very weird the way they did the casting. Let me tell you something. They picked Jordan, who has a type 1 diabetic son. They picked Megan, who lost her father from diabetes type 1. They cast Edmond, someone who needs extra nurturing, extra caring, extra adulting, extra mothering, right? And then they go find a traveling social worker. They set these people up for failure, making them believe in this alternate reality that they actually love these people because they're familiar to them. They don't love each other. They're just familiar with each other because they've seen this person in their lives every day. Caston really played mind games with these people. I ain't gonna hold you. They played some real heavy mind games up in this bitch. Now, Nick goes to apologize to Kate because he said that he's never been in love with two people at the same time, and it was very much overwhelming, okay? But he just didn't know how to communicate that. He wishes that he would have been more direct with her and told her, listen to me clearly. He wished he would have told her that he loves her, but he also loves somebody else and have a stronger connection with them. So you mean to tell me that you thought it was going to make sense for you to tell that girl that you was in love with her, but you was also in love with somebody else and you had a stronger connection with that person, and you thought that that would have made everything better? Be effing for real. Be effing for real. I cannot wait for Annie and Kate to discuss what he said to both of them. And I cannot wait for all this to blow up in his face, okay? She's telling him, like, I feel like you was playing with my emotions. Because you're telling me you love me, but then you turn around and take your love back just as fast. And he's like, it's not that I took my love back. It's just that I had a stronger connection with her. So she's like, so did you tell her that you loved me? And he's like, yeah, I told Annie that I told you that I loved you. I said, oh, you did? Oh, you did? Oh, we about to get down to the bottom of this, okay? We definitely about to get down to the bottom because, Nick, you know you didn't tell Annie that you told Kate you love her. Be effing for real. Because you wanted to pick Kate, but when you found out that she didn't want to build her relationship back up with God, you dropped her and then you was like, yeah, it's Annie. Annie was your second choice. Let's be for real. Let's be for real. Now, wait till she finds out. Wait till she finds out. Oh, I spoke too soon. Because Annie is finding out that Kate has the same love story as she do, except for Kate didn't get the man, according to Allie. It's about to go down. I can't wait. I really can't, because I want this to blow up in Nick's face so bad, okay? And now Annie is giving Nick the cold shoulder, as she should. Joe don't like Nick, okay? You could have fooled me, but Joe don't like Nick, okay? And we come to find out that nobody actually likes Nick for real. I said, oh, it's not just me. So word around the pies is Nick is fake. I said that. I've been saying that. I'm glad that everybody's finally waking up to it. Now we just got to let Annie know so that we can get her out of this. So we can do that, okay? Joe, respectfully, I know you're a grown man, but you don't need no more shots, baby. I think you had enough. Remember what happened last time? Do you want to send Megan into another spiral? And KB has officially caught the ick when it comes to Edmond. And Edmond was walking up to her. She said, please don't talk to me. Please don't talk to me. Yeah, you might want to leave her alone, because she already told us the first time that when y'all got into it, she handled it way different than she used to in the past. And I think you may bring the past up out of her, Edmond. You might want to leave her alone. Yep, leave her alone. Y'all, I already knew the mixer was going to be very, very messy. I actually wish it was a lot more messier. Maybe next episode things will really explode, you know, because I gave up on love. I'm here for the mess. I'm here for the drama of it all. Anyway, y'all, that was episode 9 review. I really hope y'all enjoyed this review. Go ahead, get down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about everything that happened so far. What y'all think about these couples? Who gonna make it? Is Jordan and Megan growing on y'all like they growing on me? I don't know, okay? Don't forget to like and hype the video up. Hype the video up, okay? And if you have not subscribed, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and subscribe. Why? Because you like it here and I want you here. And with all that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.